Welcome back to episode 57 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. Yes, Santa Claus is here. I'm taking over. He's taking over for Melo today. Uh, full house today. Christmas is in the air. Uh, we got a full house. Kyle, Matt, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling rather festive. I put just
Yeah,
a little baby stocking out here. Hopefully, maybe the Phillies can put something in there for me, make me feel a little better. A nice little drop, a little signing in there. But no, feeling festive. I've been pumping the Michael Bublé Christmas album today.
hey,
Feeling good. Yeah, looking forward to Christmas. Less than a week away. Kyle.
Yeah, so I have also been listening to a little Christmas music. Frank Sinatra, though. I
there
mean,
you go.
yes,
Can
you
deal with
have
that.
to.
Yeah, can do that.
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Juan Soto is still a Yankee for everybody who may have forgotten. So I have to let that in there. But no, we're doing well, man.
Yeah, before we get into the stuff, I just want to say this. Usually at this time of year, everybody's nice to each other, especially during Christmas time, which growing up throughout the years, that make no sense to me when people would say that. It's like, oh, so you can be a prick for 11 months out of the calendar year, but the minute you get the Christmas tree up, oh, yeah, let's be nice to the neighbors. Let's be nice to the guy at the store. I just had to get that off my chest. That saying of everybody's nicer during the holidays made no sense. So it's okay to be a prick January through November. It's okay.
Mello,
Wow.
well spoken. Well spoken.
Thank you.
A little bit of motivation over here. I love it.
Yes.
Here I was hoping Mello was going to give us a ho 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 with the beard on.
Ho, ho, ho.
There we go. That's what I was hoping for.
Oh man.
Mello also promised to leave the beard on the whole time, no matter how scratchy and annoying it may be.
Didn't sign up for that.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
It's like that scene out of The Sopranos. The boss said you're going to be Santa Claus. You're Santa Claus.
I remember that. We got some baseball to talk about, though. Couple signings, trade and a signing for Melo's Dodgers. They just keep piling it on here. They're going all in. His not crosstown rivals, his rivals, the Giants, got their star. I'm gonna use that lightly here.
Very lightly.
Some people have different feelings about it. We'll see. Of course, lots more Yamamoto rumors going all around. Could he land in New York? Could he land in LA? Could he land in Philly? All of them are possibilities at this point. We don't know. Could be anywhere. Also, the Royals really gearing up, making quite a few signings here, and could they be contenders in the AL Central this year? We'll get into all of that stuff, but I think we'll start with Glasnow and the Dodgers. The nice extension he got there, the trade, which was pending the extension, which is, wow, what great leverage for Tyler Glasnow. Oh, you want to sign me to an extension? Oh, but they won't trade for me unless they sign me to an extension. I think I'm going to need $5 more million. Yeah, it's Christmas time. I think I want to get my girlfriend, wife, whatever, fiance. I think I want to get her a new SUV. Make that another $7 million. Actually, I think. We'll just keep jacking up the price a little bit. Good for him, man. Mello, though, we haven't heard your thoughts too much on Tyler Glasnow.
I love it. I really do. Especially knowing now. Now, listen, he can still easily get hurt again next year, and the Dodgers are going to be looking at like, what the hell was that trade and move all about? But from everything that I've heard from the interviews, he sounds like he's 100% healthy again. And if he is, that's a scary thing because we have seen it in Tampa. The years that he's been healthy, he has ace stuff. And when he was out there, he was probably the ace of that team. Great move. This is not your typical Andrew Friedman move. I think I read it the other day where Andrew Friedman has only given a starting pitcher up until the Glasnow signing earlier or last week. He had only given a 4 year. That's the highest he had ever gone for a starting pitcher, and that was Brandon McCarthy. And we know how that ended. Wasn't good. So um, this is not your typical Andrew Friedman move, but this is one of those things where I think you had to do it. You needed to get starting pitching. It wasn't the main reason why you lost to Arizona last year, but it definitely reared its ugly head too. So front of the line starter, he's probably gonna be the ace. Let's see what happens with Yamamoto in these next couple weeks. But for right now, he's gonna be one of, if you're one or not your number two starter. But I love this. And he's only 30 years of age. Now, if he can just stay healthy, this is gonna be a steal for the Dodgers. Hopefully, I can say that soon. And he's a hometown kid. I love it. Santa Clara, California. This guy, and again, I heard it from his press conference. He wants to be here. And that's the thing that I wanted to see the Dodgers do. Go get guys that want to be here. They want to play for the Dodgers. They want to play in LA. Be proud to wear that jersey. And Tyler Glasnow is one of those guys. He's from here. He grew up going to Dodger games. I love it. And I'm so glad that he's back with us. And I think he's going to represent the Dodgers extremely well.
You don't miss Ryan Pepio or Johnny DeLuca?
I'll miss Ryan Pepio, not going to lie, especially since we still had like 5 years of control over him. And he actually had some major league good stuff from the little small sample size that we saw in the regular season last year. I mean, me personally, I would have tried to trade somebody else and keep Pepio, but I know that's not how the business works. You got to give up some stuff if you want the things you want. So it sucks about Pepio. Johnny DeLuca, no disrespect, but I just didn't see enough. Like, it was a small sample size. I hadn't seen enough. I hope they both flourish and play well in Tampa, and I will be rooting for them.
Kyle, you lost a stud out of your division. What's your perspective on it?
Yeah, so my perspective is I am slowly turning into a Dodger fan with this offseason going on. What the hell is going on, man? I love it. I absolutely love it. The Dodgers took Shohei Ohtani out of the American League. The Dodgers took Tyler Glasnow and Yankee killer Manuel Margot out of Tampa, out of my division. I absolutely love it. So thank you, Melo. I appreciate that.
No
Um,
problem.
but looking at the Dodgers side of things, I love this trade. It's no secret that this Dodgers rotation was not up to par with the lineup that they were putting out there. So I absolutely love bringing in Glass now. Like Melo said, trust me, I've seen it. Glass now has the ace potential. He has the stuff. He is a nasty, nasty pitcher. However, health is his main concern. He is not a guy who can go out there and give you regularly. He is not a guy who can go out there and give you, I don't know, 25, 30 starts a year. He's just not that guy. Until last year, he showed some promise. And if he can keep his health up, I think this is going to be a huge, huge win for this Dodgers team, who potentially now has their ace for the next 4 or 5 years, however long the contract was. On the flip side of things, I love this trade for Tampa. I mean, listen, Tampa is not known for giving out big contracts. There's no way that they were going to give the money that the Dodgers just gave the Glasnow. There's absolutely no way. And they got a stud. I love Pepio. I really do. Now, I don't love in my division because I'm going to tell you one thing. Knowing the Rays, he's going to turn into the next Randy Johnson. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. That's how the Rays go. And DeLuca wouldn't be shocked if he turns into the next Yankee killer. He's kind of like a under the radar kind of guy. That's kind of how Tampa rolls. And it would not shock me if these guys are doing extremely well and flourishing down there in Tampa. Their farm system and their coaching that they have on their staff is insane. This trade screams Tampa Bay Rays. I think this is a huge win for both sides. Los Angeles gets their ace, presumably, and Tampa gets a guy, like Melo said, under 4 or 5 years left of control.
Yep.
I mean, that's their bread and butter right there. So I like this trade for both sides. I think it's a huge win, and there's not a lot of trades like that in baseball anymore. But I really don't think either side could have done better.
And they can
Yeah,
flip
not
Pepio 4 years from now
Exactly.
for something else.
That's how Tampa works.
yeah. It'll be Tyler Glasnow all over again in 4 or
Looks
5
like
years.
When's
It is a
McManaman
win-win
on his way
trade.
out?
Yeah, I think the injury concerns are a legit thing for Glasnow. I mean, extending him for that long when he has a history of not going deep into seasons and a history of getting injured, it's not to say that he can't turn that around in Los Angeles, because you never know how injuries can go. Injuries, we've seen it with Mike Trout. It can be freak things, or we've seen it with other players that it can be a constant thing throughout their career. It's just nagging them the whole career. So who knows where that's at for Tyler Glasnow. But when you look at the Dodgers rotation now, don't forget Walker Buehler's coming back for this season. Hopefully, right? He should be back for beginning of the season or close to.
Yeah, if not, he'll be there by like May or June, but he's coming back
Yeah.
next year.
Okay, Walker Buehler. They haven't re-signed Clayton Kershaw, but we feel like that's probably going to happen. He'll be at least a 4 in the rotation. He should be. Tony Gonsolin's coming back from injury. Now you have also Tyler Glasnow in that rotation. Don't forget Bobby Miller.
Yeah.
As much as we say the Dodgers rotation kind of is like lacking, if I was a Dodgers fan, I would feel pretty all right with that. Plus, you in the hunt for Yamamoto right now. Like, this Dodgers rotation, as much as we say, oh, I don't know about the Dodgers rotation this year, it's not that bad. And also, think of where you'd be if Julio Urias wasn't being an idiot off the field. I mean, you'd be feeling great about where you're at right now. You would probably be thinking, as much as we love Kershaw, not sure we're going to bring him back again this year. But, like, you kind of do need Kershaw right now to be that 3 or 4 in your rotation. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect Kershaw, but maybe 5, depending how everybody else's season is going. We'll see. But honestly, Dodgers rotation is sneaky, like, really good. We saw how good Tony Gonsolin could be. Walker Buehler, I know it's coming back from his second Tommy John, but still, we've seen his potential there, like a Cy Young candidate. Tyler Glasnow, when he's healthy, Cy Young candidate. Clayton Kershaw in the first half of the season last year, Cy Young candidate. Bobby Miller probably got votes for NL Rookie of the Year, I would bet. So that's not a bad rotation right there. I would like that as a Dodgers fan.
And hopefully you're getting Ohtani in a year, and he'll be ready
right.
to pitch too. So, but I still want the Dodgers to be greedy. Go be greedy. I don't give a shit anymore. I've been dumped on enough these last couple of years. Go be greedy. Go sign Yamamoto away. Go do it. I love this rotation that the Dodgers are forming. And if you don't get Yamamoto, the Dodgers still have plenty of prospects that they can offer to Dylan Cease. I know the Brewers said they wouldn't do it, but maybe Corbin Burns, maybe we knock on the door again. I don't think they'll do it, but you never know. So it's like
Bieber.
Yeah, Shane Bieber. I was trying to think of another one. So even if they don't get Yamamoto, there's still moves to be made. And I want the Dodgers to be greedy. And so far, I gave them a pat on the back last week for getting Ohtani. I am extremely happy and proud of Andrew Friedman and the front office because they've been embarrassed the last 2 years in the playoffs. No question about it. And I wanted them to come into this offseason with some little fire in their ass. Like, we're the Dodgers. We're not supposed to be losing in the division series every year to our division rivals. Fuck everybody else and, go spend your money. And the Dodgers so far have been doing that. And I like it.
Yeah. We mentioned Yamamoto and rumors floating around of him could be going to the Dodgers, could be going to the Yankees. He FaceTimed Bryce Harper in the Phillies, so I like that.
Stay out of the way, Matt.
No. Come on, we're square in the middle of this. I'm not sure. I don't know about handing out 300 million to this guy, but that seems to be what the going rate is right now. Um, Now, apparently, Jeff Passan said nobody offered him 300 million yet,
I believe it.
but
We'll see. That was directed at you.
it wouldn't surprise me though if he does sign for somewhere between 250 and 300. Of course, depending how long he signs for and all that. But rumors floating everywhere. He's had 1 or 2 meetings with the Yankees, I think. Right?
2. He's had
2?
2.
Okay. He met with the Dodgers. He was
Self-
at Dodger Stadium, right, Melo?
Yeah, he met with
Yes,
the
I
Dodgers
heard-
at Dodger Stadium.
Yes. Like I said, FaceTime Bryce Harper with the Phillies meeting. I mean, look at Bryce Harper, man, being the total team guy out there. But I forget who did we predict him going to? All of us. I'm
Yankees.
not sure. I think
I did, yeah.
Kyle, you said
I
Yankees.
think I said the Mets.
I said Yankees.
I think I said the Mets too, but I can't remember.
Yeah, Matt, you said Mets.
Okay, so then we all see him going to New York, one way or the other. But yeah, just interesting how 300 million for a guy who's never pitched a inning in Major League Baseball. How do you guys feel about that?
He's the reason why the starting pitching market is so slow right now.
Yes.
Because they want to see what he's going to get. Like that. That's why Blake Snell hasn't signed. That's why Jordan Montgomery hasn't signed. These guys are waiting to see what the hell is this guy going to get. And he hasn't pitched an inning in the big leagues yet. Because if he's going to get 300 million, I can't believe, I don't even want to imagine what Blake Snell is thinking right now. This guy might get 300 million and he hasn't thrown a pitch in this league. And I've won a Cy Young in each league. And I might not even get that.
Yep.
But that's the way I see it. It's like the market is so slow right now because we're waiting on Yamamoto. Once he signs, I think you're really going to see all hell break loose. I thought we were going to get that after Ohtani signed, not really. But I think once Yamamoto decides to make his decision, after that, just all hell's going to break loose.
Yeah.
So, Kyle?
I totally understand the whole coming overseas thing. We've seen it happen. We have. The Giants might be in the next predicament. We don't know yet. But Japan is no pushover, right? This is another thing that people seem to forget. Now, I'm not saying Major League Baseball is better, worse than what is being played over in Japan. I totally understand. But this guy is like, dude, if you take a deep dive into his numbers and the awards, the resume speaks for itself. I don't know how much I really believe the market for this guy because there were so many reports. This guy's going to get over 300. This guy's going to get at least 275, whatever it is. After Passan said what he said, which trust me, I don't think there's anybody in baseball that I believe more than Jeff Passan. I wouldn't be shocked if this guy's market is 200 to 250. I think that's what he's going to end up getting. I would not be shocked at all if he signs just north of 200. I wouldn't be. Exactly what Melo said. The market is not going to get pushed anymore until Yamamoto makes his decision. And, we got the first rumor about Blake Snell today. That was the first one all winter. This guy just won a damn Cy Young award. And Melo, I'm gonna reiterate what you just said. He's won a Cy Young award in both leagues. I believe there's 7 MLB pitchers who have ever done that. This guy is good. I don't understand why the market's not really picking up. I totally get it. It's Yamamoto. That's the reason. But yeah, I think whoever Yamamoto goes to, I think he is going to live up to the hype. I really do. This guy wants to pitch in the bright lights. There's been multiple reports saying that he wants to pitch on the brightest stage in baseball. Which, hey, come on over to the Bronx. You got that right there. Anyway, No, that's my 2 cents on it. I think he's going to be a phenomenal pitcher, and whoever ends up winning these sweepstakes is going to get a damn good number one or number two, depending on which team actually gets him.
Number one over Garrett Cole.
Yeah, you're funny. Best pitcher in the world. Come on now.
Hey, he is. I think.
Thank you, man.
I think 300 million is a lot. Like Garrett Cole's the only pitcher to sign for 300 million, and to give a guy who's never pitched in Major League Baseball 300 million it's kind of ridiculous.
That is a big.
It is a very big gamble, and listen, sometimes gambles pay off. That's how gambling works. It's a risk. You know that. And some teams are more willing to take that risk than others, that's for sure. Some teams are more in a position to take that risk than others. It's one thing if you're depending on him to be your number one, you need him to be an ace and to be like the best starting pitcher on your team. It's a little different if you have a little room to play, where it's okay if he's the number 3 on your team. It's okay if he's the number 2 on your team. So a team like the Mets, where they kind of need him to be their ace right now, I mean, it's a bit of a bigger risk. Sure, Steve Cohen has deep pockets and he's willing to hand out all the money. We've seen that. But if he flops in New York, which, listen, I don't wish that upon any player because that just has to suck, coming over to a new country and not being able to perform the best at your craft as you've been able to. That would totally suck. But if he's not able to perform like he has been in Japan, the Mets are out their number one starter. I mean, he's going to be falling 2 or 3 in that rotation. Who knows? And listen, he can still have a solid career, but he's not going to be living up to that $300 million number. And that's where my alarms are starting to go off a little bit. Like, we haven't seen him pitch at all. 300 million is a lot. Even 200, 250 is a lot of money too to sign this guy to. But of course, we'll see how it pans out. Decision should be coming sometime soon.
Yeah, and in the case of the Mets, you hit it right on the head because if this guy doesn't perform up to the contract, you're asking Kodai Senga to, in his second year, try to repeat what he did in his first year. And sometimes that's not easy to do. But yeah, hopefully this guy signs soon. It seems like from the reports that he's not signing before Christmas, so you're gonna have to wait until after. But this market's got to move, man. This is one of the more boring off seasons ever. Now it's hard for me to say that because look at who I got a couple weeks ago, and look at who Kyle got. But to me, this is one of the more slower off seasons that I've experienced.
Yep.
This is the slowest one since being at ATD. I'll tell you that right now.
I agree.
And we went through a lockout.
Could be the reason why the next guy we're going to talk about, Jung-Hoo Lee, signed with the Giants for so much, because it is a bit of a slow off season, and the Giants are pretty desperate for a star. So they signed into what, a 6-year 100 and something, 6 years, 113.
Yes.
And listen, he's been a guy who's dominated in the KBO. He's been one of the best hitters, most consistent hitters over there for the last few seasons. And the Giants have been hungry for a star ever since. We know the whole story. They missed on Bryce Harper. They missed on Aaron Judge. They weren't able to lure all these guys in to play at the Bay there. So they go out and signed this player from the KBO to 6 years, 113. And then Fangraphs, I think it was Fangraphs, comes out and projects him to start 7th in the lineup, hit 7th in the lineup for them. It's like, well, that doesn't quite seem right. You may have overpaid for this guy a little bit. I don't know. That's my thoughts. Kyle, I know we talked about this a little bit, but what do you think about this?
I like the move. I love the move, to be honest with you, but I hate the contract. That's where I'm at. I think Jung-Hoo Lee I did a deep dive into him right? I wrote an article about him around thediamondmedia.com, by the way. Anyway, um, I love him as a player. I really do. I love his background. I love everything that he has produced in the KBO. He is the embodiment of what you want of a guy coming from overseas. He really is. However, when you look at the KBO, it is not up to the standards that even Japan, right? Playing in Japan, that's a whole different ballgame. Now, making the jump from the KBO all the way to Major League Baseball, that's a whole different ballgame. And my worry is he is not going to be able to keep up with just the velocity, dude. We got guys over here that's pumping 102 consistently, 103. I mean, Chapman last year reached 105 again. I mean, these are just things. These are the little things that you need to think of when you're bringing a guy like this over. Um, there was a guy who did. He's a big analytic guy. I wish I remembered his name on Twitter, but he did a comparison between the KBO and MLB, and it kind of equaled out where the KBO is kind of like AAA of Major League Baseball. So yes, Jung-Hoo Lee was a phenomenal hitter over there in the KBO. But yet again, that's just like a guy from AAA making the jump to Major League Baseball. Anything can happen in between. Look at J.K., for example, with the Phillies. The dude rakes in AAA. He's a phenomenal player down there. But then once he comes up to MLB, it's a whole different ballgame. So, like I said, the Giants were desperate. There is no doubt about that. It has all the writing on the wall. I love the move for them. I think Jung-Hoo Lee is going to be I think he's going to be a very good player in baseball. I really do. But I'm just worried about the transition from the KBO to MLB, which in in return to that, I'm worried about this contract. And that's where I think the Giants just got a little gung-ho, kind of said, listen, we got to bring somebody in here. We need to. And Jung-Hoo Lee was the guy on the list, and that's where it stands.
Yeah, this is why Scott Boras gets paid the big bucks.
Right.
Because he will feast on desperate organizations trying to sign a player.
Yankees.
Come on now. Hey, Matt. What's going on here? Calm down. Garrett Cole turned out pretty damn good.
I'll give you that.
But yeah, this was and I want to be on the record and saying I do like the signing. I do. Giants got to do something. And this could be the start of something, but Kyle hit it hit it right on the head at the end there. That was pressure from the fan base. You got to do something. And you've got Buster Posey, saying that this is a great place to play. You got Logan Webb crying on Twitter saying that this is a great place to play, But so, and you saw it at the press conference. Like he actually looks like he's extremely happy to be there. And I think as a Giants fan, that's what you want to see. You want to see players want to play in San Francisco. Same thing like with the Dodgers. I want to see guys who want to play here. And just I think that this was just a pressure move from the fan base. Listen, the Giants are not going to take I don't think the Giants fans are going to take another offseason of doing nothing or missing out on key free agents. Last year sunk their heart out. And Giants had to do something, and they did. It's been 10 years since the Giants won their last World Series next year. This fan base is getting tired of it, and rightfully so. They want to see a competitive team. It's a great ballpark. I'm sure it's a great city. I know everybody dumps on it, but I'm sure it's nice. But I like the move. We'll see how he responds. We'll see how he, let's see how he does. Let's not completely say it's not going to work from day one. We got to see it play out. And I hope he does well. And I think he will.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course, you always want the guy to pan out. You want the contract to work out good for the Giants. I mean, or at least for the player most of the time. Even if we don't like the team, we want it to work out for the player. Now, a team that made a couple more moves, bolstered up their team, Kansas City Royals. Watch out. Twins, Tigers, whoever's supposed to win that division this year. Who knows? Guardians. Kansas City Royals are coming. Make a couple of signings, bring in some former Padres, Hunter Renfroe, Michael Waka, one more guy. I'm blanking on his name right.
It's Seth Lugo, Michael Walker, Chris Stratton, Will Smith, and Hunter Renfroe. Oh, and Garrett
There
Hampson.
it is. There. Yeah, Garrett Hampson, legendary Marlin and Rocky there. How could we forget him? Maybe Rocky. At least Marlin, I know that. But yes, Royals making some moves. Now, listen, you can look at this one of two ways. I'm not sure how you guys look at it, but I'll say there's two ways you can look at it. One, the Royals are trying to compete, and they're signing some people who, listen, it's not a big risk for them. It's a little, not huge deals. I mean, Lugo got a pretty decent deal, I believe.
4 years, I think.
Yeah. But overall, these are guys like middle of the road free agents. Of course, this isn't Otani, this isn't Yamamoto that they're signing. This is just middle of the road guys, capable players. You can look at it, they're trying to build, or you can look at it as, these guys are all going to be gone after the trade deadline, when the Royals suck and these guys are doing good. Now, probably not Lugo if he signed a 4-year deal, or
it was 3-year, $45 million. I just checked.
There, okay. So there's two ways you can look at it. Listen, I hope the Royals are competing. Build around Bobby Witt Jr. Enjoy the last couple years of Salvador Perez, I think. There's guys there that there's nice pieces. Vinny Pasquantino's coming back from injury this year. He had a nice little career going before he got injured there. So listen, there's things to like about this Royals team. MJ Melendez, sneaky good catcher there for them. There's lots of pieces on this Royals team. Cole Reagan's pitcher had a nice breakout season last year, especially in the second half. There's pieces on this Royals team to build around, and maybe that's what they're doing, or maybe they're trying to flip them for some more prospects, some of these guys, for some more prospects before or at the trade deadline. I don't know. Either way, glad the Royals are spending, though. This is something more teams need to do.
Yeah, and I from what the Royals have been doing, some of these teams that are complaining about these big market teams spending, it made it seem like they have no money. Look what the Royals just did. So it turns out they do have some money to spend. To me, this is one of those things where this division is weak, man. It is. And I'm not saying all these signings are going to work out, but if you can hit on maybe 2 or 3 of them and you're competing in June and July, you can still make some moves and add on at the deadline. But in this weak division, you can. And I applaud the Kansas City Royals. To me, I'm going to go it from this angle. They realize the division is so weak and that, look at what the Tigers have been doing. The Tigers are starting to realize that the division's weak. Maybe now the Royals are starting to realize it too. So I like the moves. I like the idea of trying to go out there and spend money and compete. But like you said, if the Royals are no good, they get off to a bad start, they're going to flip these guys for prospects and they're going to start over again. But I like it when teams spend money. And the Royals are doing that. It's good for the game.
Yeah, I mean, both you guys hit this right on the head here. I think the Royals are going into this with a win-win mindset. Number one, you're competitive next year. These guys are all coming off of hot starts, doing their thing, and guess what? You got yourself a division. Now, on the flip side of things, if it doesn't work out, these contracts are not crazy. And it's hard to see Seth Lugo being moved, but let's just say he's having one hell of a year. That contract is not a bad contract for a contender. It's really not. You're adding 2 years on for a guy who's having a phenomenal season. There you go. You got a 3 or 4 starter right there in your rotation. Either way, it's a win-win for the Royals. I absolutely love what they're doing. As a fan of a big market team, who's always getting shit for my team spending, guess what? Just like I am like all three of us can agree to this. We want these teams to spend money. Well, number one, to get these damn fans off of our backs just for picking one freaking team.
Yes.
But number two, the fact is, baseball is better when teams are spending. I'm sorry. That is exactly how it is. There's no reason for these bottom 5, bottom 10 teams to not spend more. There's really not. I don't think there's any excuse. I absolutely applaud what the Royals are doing. I absolutely love it. And these guys that they're bringing in, like, yes, they're not top of the line guys, but they are forming a little core down there, and I love it. I absolutely love it. You got Bobby Wood Jr., who's an absolute star in this league, and then, dude, this rotation, I love it. I really like what they're putting together, and we didn't mention earlier they got Kyle Wright in a trade with the Braves.
Yeah.
He's another one that I think the Braves gave up too early on him. I love what the Royals are doing. I applaud them tremendously, and more teams need to do this because it makes the game that much more enjoyable.
Yeah. At the worst, you're taking a gamble on these guys. It's not that much money in the grand scheme of things for these owners. It's not that much money, and at its best, you're contending for a division, like we said, and somewhere in between, you can trade them for prospects. There will be a team, if you are playing bad, who will trade for Hunter Renfroe at the trade deadline because he's gonna hit 20+ home runs in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, he has a very good track record of doing that. So somebody will trade for these guys if you're doing bad and they're doing all right. So it's really a win-win situation for the most part, unless your team just sucks and they totally suck. That would be a lose-lose. But at the end of the day, like I said, not that much money for your team. So not that big of a concern, period. But yes, good for baseball. Good for the Royals spending some money. I think we're going to wrap things up here. I will say quick shout out. D-backs brought back Lourdes Gurriel Jr. on a 3-year, $42 million deal, I think. So there were some question marks. It didn't quite look like he was going to re-sign there when the season ended. Signs were pointing that he might not, and they brought him back. Good for the D-backs. Glad that they're spending money too, because we talked about that earlier. They should become a free agent hotspot for good free agents to look to sign. So, yes, good job for the D-backs there. Yes, wrapping up episode 57, I got to ask you guys to give us your top 3 Christmas movies before we head out of here, though.
Oh. Bad
So
Santa.
I don't know. I don't know if either one of you want to go first or no. Anybody got their 3 off the top of their head?
Well, I'm not a movie person, so people are probably going to laugh, but
Okay.
Christmas movies, I'll go Polar Express. Damn. Maybe I went too fast here. Shit.
All right, we'll take the heat off of Melo a little bit here. My top 3 probably would be Home Alone, the first one. Gotta be. All-time classic right there. I'm still a sucker for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I don't think you outgrow that one. Love that one. Classic as well. And I'm talking about the original Dr. Seuss animation one, not the Jim
Carrey one.
No, I haven't seen it, so I can't judge it. I know, crazy, I haven't seen it. I'll have to check it out. Last one then. You know what? I watched it for the first time this year, and I think it was pretty good. I know I'm definitely missing one. Somebody's going to eat me alive for it, but that's all right. I enjoyed Christmas with the Cranks this year. I thought that was pretty funny. I watched that this year.
All right. So, number 1, I'm going to go Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Yeah, 100%. I still think 2 is better than 1. Number 2 on my list, I'm going to go with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And then number 3, an absolute classic, kind of a snub for you, Matt. I'm sorry, but A Christmas Story. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not my favorite. it does get overplayed, but is a absolute classic and it needs to be on your list. I'm sorry.
All right, Melo, we swing back around to you.
Polar Express. Uh, Home Alone. I'll throw Home Alone in there. Which one? Probably one.
There
I'll
we
probably go with one. I do like two though. I'm not gonna lie. And then number 3, man,
Die Hard.
is that a Christmas movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a hot take. That's a hot debate.
Damn. Can't believe I can't come up with 3. This is ridiculous. You know what? I'll go with Bad Santa. That makes me laugh. I don't give a shit. I'll go with Bad Santa. That makes me laugh.
There you go.
I like that.
All right.
It's a
So there we
SpongeBob
go.
Christmas.
SpongeBob Christmas.
I wish that was a movie, but it's not. I would have had that on there.
I'm sure we missed your favorite, everybody's personal favorite. We missed definitely. So,
Yeah.
believe it or not, this was our personal favorites. This is not just the all-time best Christmas
Yes.
movies of all time, because people seem to not understand that everybody has an opinion. Not
Yes.
sure
Hey, listen,
why, but
I became the least favorite ATD member when I came out with my top 5 baseball movies. So hey, it happens.
okay. Okay. I got to make a change. I got to swap number 3. I had Christmas with the Cranks. I got to swap out Elf here. I missed Elf. I apologize for that.
Elf is
I got to put
terrible.
Elf on.
I was
Oh,
thinking of
come
that.
on.
Elf
Elf is a good
terrible.
movie. No,
No.
Elf is a good movie. Nightmare Before Christmas. We mentioned Die Hard, A Christmas Story, The Grinch, It's a Wonderful Life did not get mentioned. Home Alone 2 we mentioned. The Santa Claus, I've never heard of that. Christmas Vacation. Miracle on 34th Street, nobody mentioned that one. A Year Without Santa Claus.
I'm not watching
Some of
Christmas
those-
movies, man.
Why not? Come on, Melo. 'Tis the season.
Hey, I
I've
have a
watched-
sweater and a hat on. I think I do more than enough.
All right, yeah. I've been watching a Christmas movie each weekend for the last 3 weekends. Got to get into it a little more.
I didn't know you got down like that, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched
There you go.
Home Alone 1.5 times on Sunday. Or Saturday and Sunday. 1.5
Nice.
times. Yeah.
See, I think this is where the disconnect is. You guys like the Christmas movies. I like the music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can get down with the music some.
Should've
Not too
done-
much.
What about top 3 Christmas songs?
Okay. Yeah, sure. We have time.
Oh.
Come on. Melo, you were eager to do it. Spit them out.
I like Blue Christmas by Elvis Presley. Baby, It's Cold Outside, the D. Martin version. And what's the third one I like? What's a third one I can come up with? I'm gonna go with the Christmas song, Nat Cole King. I like that.
Okay.
And my honorable mention is Christmas Night in Harlem. I like that.
Kyle?
Oh man, this is a tough one. Number 1 has to be Blue Christmas from Elvis. That's unanimous. Number 2, ooh, this is tough. I gotta go "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" by Brendan Lee. Number 3 is a toss-up, but I'll give it to Wham! Last Christmas.
Oh.
And my honorable mention is going to be "Run, Rudolph, Run" by Chuck Berry.
Damn!
Wow.
I'm so upset that I missed that.
All right, listen, this got to go into a graphic now. Come on.
I'm
Oh,
so
it will.
upset.
On
I'm so
Instagram.
upset that I didn't say Last Christmas. I've been listening to that song on a loop.
Hey, you can make
I'm
a swap.
so upset.
I made a swap with the movies.
I said
We'll allow
Dean
it.
Martin. I said Dean Martin. Baby, It's Cold Outside. I said Blue Christmas by Elvis Presley, And the last one was what was the last one I said? I don't even remember the last one I said.
It don't matter. It wasn't meant to be.
Time out here. This is my switch. Number 2 is from Rocking Around the Christmas Tree to Feliz Navidad.
There you go.
No doubt. I'm sorry. I can't believe I forgot that. Wow. That's terrible of me.
Okay.
Damn. It's pissing me off now.
I'm going to have to take... I'm not sure about any particular order, but I'm going to have to take Silver Bells. I'll probably take the Michael Bublé version. I've listened to that probably 2 or 3 times in the last 48 hours or so. I'm going to take The First Noel by Andy Williams.
Okay.
Sung by Andy
like
Williams. Yeah. Classic. Now, the last one here, nobody mentioned it.
Oh.
Nobody mentioned Mariah Carey at all.
Absolutely.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, come on.
Matt,
Really?
out of here.
It's overplayed, man.
Matt,
Maybe
overplayed,
it is.
man.
Maybe it is. But
It's a great song. Just
Yeah.
I've heard it enough.
Well, maybe so. It's still a great song, though.
Oh.
It is. I'm not disputing
I'll
that.
take All I Want for Christmas as my number 3.
I remembered which one I had. The last one was the Christmas song. I hate to do this. I'm taking out the Elvis one, and I'm switching Wham. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I'm taking it out. I'm taking it out. I listened to Last Christmas a lot because I think I can sing like that.
There you go.
Wow.
All right. Now we got all of our
Christmas
Christmas favorites out there. Yes.
Yes.
So we will have to. We'll give you a little recap of what we got gifts wise next episode. We're gonna need to do that for you guys. So,
Yes.
No, not nothing too personal, and we don't need to know you got boxers for Christmas, Kyle. Okay.
Yes.
It's all right. Melo, we don't need to know about your life-size Shohei Ohtani cutout you got too.
Yes. I got some hookers and cocaine. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Okay. We're gonna have to put a cap on episode 57 here. Melo's trying to go off the rails.
Merry Christmas, kids.
Yes.
ATD
Merry Christmas,
Baseball.
everybody. Yes, episode 57 in the books. We'll see when we're coming at you. It might not be December 26th because we have lives outside of Around the Diamond. So we could be doing other things, but not guaranteeing. Not guaranteeing we won't be back December 26th. I won't put that out there. Just saying. Either way. Probably sometime next week, though. We'll come out with
We
another
will do a
episode.
New Year's Eve, a New Year's special
Ooh, New
to
Year's
wrap
special.
up 2023.
I'll be in
Okay,
MetLife.
yeah.
So
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
hey, I'll record from MetLife. We're good.
Yeah. He's going just to make a deal with Tommy DeVito's agent, but
Damn
Go
right.
Rams.
that's on the football side. Yeah. So, episode 57 in the books. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you next week.